That was a silly idea. I walked down the hill to the highway and then I walked west instead of east. I always walk east, but I walked west today. And it was in the sun the whole time. So I walked toward the sun. No, I walked away from the sun, but in the sunlight. The whole road was bathed in sunlight. And I saw my friend, and it was so neat seeing her. She was on her way going the other direction when I was coming back. It was about 7:45. I realized I had gone out very early, 7:30 or something. I was out there. Look at this, the blue jays have come. I remember I fed them this morning. Oops, there they are in the tree. I'm sorry about all the reflections, but they're in there. I hear some noise out there. Good morning, Tyler. Nancy, are you communicating with people on Earth today? What an interesting question. What do you mean? I don't know what that means. So that would be all of you folks. Do I usually not communicate with all of you folks on Earth today? Sometimes I do pray a lot, don't I? I like praying. I like it. He helps me so much, and I just like talking to him. He's great. It's like picking up the phone to my mom. Hi, Heavenly Father. Thanks for everything again. All these surprises in my life. Really nice little surprises. You didn't say anything in your last live video this morning. What? I did. I was showing you the deer. There was no sound. I was showing you the deer out there, and I fed the blue jays. See, there they are. Good morning, Fast. I didn't say anything to you. Huh. Well, the sound must have not worked. Because I was talking the whole time. I showed you all the sunrises, and I explained about the deer out there, and then I woke up to a deer. I wandered through the house, and we looked out the different windows. I did talk. You saw the deer and everything? Well, I was talking. I was pointing them out and saying where they were, and well, that's a glitch, isn't it? Because I said it. These two, I like seeing these birds right out here in this forest. This is sort of their location, instead of trying to get them to come out into the open. People seem to like to keep it open around their houses. They cut away all the trees quite a way back. Keep the bugs away and whatever else, but I'd rather be in there with the trees. I'd rather be it's like sitting in the woods. I want to just see the woods. The cloud was, you said that nobody was leaving comments. Interesting. The sound was on. Really? I'll have to go look at that video. How weird. Ha, maybe your volume was turned down. But no, it's working now. I'm trying to put you in this. Uh-oh. All right, so I'm gonna put you over here now. And you are very blessed to have that view with nature right at your house. Yeah, I know. I'm very blessed. I don't deserve it, but I'm grateful. All right, so now I have seen when they make these, this, you see on the inside is rounded. You see this piece in there is rounded down there? Anyway, so what you're supposed to do is these are supposed to meet at the top and then make a circle down at the bottom. And this one here, you see, it's completely overlapping. So it needs to be cut properly. But I think this part here needs to be lower. I wonder how this will make out now that I have now that this has all kind of been in place for a while, and I wet it to make it bend, and now it's not wet. So let's see if it's sort of dried into place. See, this is one of the strips I took out of the basket that I dismantled to make a perfect rim. All right, so this one I had started by making big holes. I was going to do a running stitch, but you know, that's the wrong way. Hey there, Mau Kitty. This could be nicer like that. It could be much bigger. Like so. So I wanted to cut it. Hi, darling. How are you feeling? I can't let you out, but you can watch the birds. You can just be entertained. See, but they usually connect these with a perfect line, and then they cut out there for the outside. But it's whatever you want to do, right? Like somebody came up with this idea, somebody else could come up with a different one. It could even go up like that, see? But then it's going to be different on both sides. So this one would work coming up like that. I could cut this so that it too would work, but you know, I hate wasting such perfect stuff. However, if I cut it, it will leave a piece about that big, which is usable. I kind of like the idea of opening it out like that on one side. and then trimming everything to fit. You know, making a big basket like that. But I don't think I really have the right to do that. Okay, so what if we put this on the inside and this on the inside? And then we could cut these off. You know, we could make it smooth. And the same with this side. We could come on the inside with these. Put it up like that. That looks pretty nice. But you see, they're longer on this side than they are on this side. So I have to make some decisions, but I don't want to make this decision. Okay, so those are there. So now if I stick a peg through, that would hold them in place. I need a thin piece of wood or a piece of spruce root. All right, well that's so because I'm putting it aside and I don't know what to do next, it's likely I won't finish it. So this is the time to think about, what do I really want it to look like? Or better yet, I could ask for inspiration and get a picture. Dear Heavenly Father, I'm trying to do this birch bark basket and I can't really see what I want it to look like, what it's supposed to be. I need a picture. Okay, I guess I can see it now. Well, thank you, Heavenly Father. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen. So I'm thinking cutting it off up here is the thing. Just cut this off straight so that it comes around that way. And then this way, you know, I could patch this, you know. I could put a third piece across there. You know, that would really be good if I patched that. Then it could be a big basket like this. Okay, so I'll look for a patch, but not yet. First I'm going to wrap some of this soap. So I have all these little pieces of soap. So what about wrapping a bunch of them up together? You know, and it doesn't matter if your fleece is dirty, because you know what? As you wash it, this fleece is going to be so clean, right? Because it's going to have, the soap is going to wash this fleece over and over. Over and over again. I'm finding if you pull this fleece really tightly, but not so tightly that it becomes a line. But when you pull it tightly, it felts really, really quickly. Really much better. Okay, so that one has to be wet and worked on. Hey, kitty. Hi. I'm not letting you out. Sorry. Because we don't want you hunting the birds. When I used to sell soap, people always thought it was cheese or fudge. They always thought it was edible. Always. In spite of the big sign that would say Sedge Meadows soap. Okay, you know what? There's a hot water bottle right here, which has water in it. I didn't want to get wet. What did you expect, Nancy? Hmm? There. See how white this is getting? The soap suds are a little dirty, but the fleece is certainly getting white. It'll start to shrink down. I put a bunch of cans of peaches. I have lots of cans of peaches and pears in the cupboard, but nobody eats them. But I think if they were dehydrated and in a jar, we would eat them from time to time. I don't want to fill my cupboards with things we're not eating. I need room for things that we need, like chickpeas. We really go through a lot of chickpeas. Cans of chickpeas. I should probably cook them from scratch. I have chickpeas, but anyway, I always make hummus. there an emulsifier other than egg that you can use for making mayonnaise so you don't have eggs in your mayonnaise? Must be. They've got all these vegan mayonnaise, which means it doesn't have an egg in it. I don't always put my mayonnaise away. I don't like keeping it in the fridge, but you can't do that if there's eggs in it. If you add vinegar, did I add vinegar to my mayonnaise when I made it? I don't think I did, or lemon juice. Yeah, I must have, or it wouldn't have worked. See how nice that is? And as you agitate it, the little fibers on top of one another end up locking together and shrinking together. So this one is just full of ends, and this soap case, this coat, it will shrink as it gets used. It will get matted-er and matted-er and matted-er until there's no soap left. Matted-er, too matted, too matted-er. To get matted, to be matted, matting, to mat. Sorry, just checking out the English language. Okay, so that one's ready. So this is undone. See what it looks like with nothing happening to it yet. But then we squish it and just agitate it in place. You don't want to rub it far, because if you start rubbing it far, it will not adhere to one another. You'll end up with pieces sticking out. And after you've been agitating it in one place for a while, you'll see that it has adhered. So it's maple syrup season, freezing solid at night, melting in the day. There's a piece hanging off. All these little soaps and sides are moving around. I don't see the blue jays anymore. I think we have 4 raccoons now. And 3 feral cats. How you feeling today, kitty? He went out the last couple of nights and he went out there yesterday morning and was face to face with that deer. He was not impressed. The deer wasn't worried about him, but he was rather hesitant about this huge creature. There, see now? There's all these pieces inside. Well, I'm glad I went for a walk. That was really good. That was very nice. I'd like to sit outside and write in my journal, but it was -8 this morning. That was pretty cold on my hands. So it's good enough that I have finished felting all the soaps. I had a whole basket of them in the bathroom. So now I've retrieved them from the basket, and now the basket needs repairing because the soaps ate through the bottom of it got damp, right, or wet. And they ate through the bottom of the basket. The basket was only made of rushes. So I guess the floor got wet under them or something, and then Anyway, so I have more rushes I could mend it with. Could make a nice patch on it, but patches on the bottom, it's got to be able to hold weight. There we go. This one is pretty tight. This one is still pretty loose. You can open your fingers up and have it so that you cover the whole thing every time you agitate it. I've felt it better. It's looking very smooth. Of course, it's got a lot of soap suds in it. I've been watching these icicles for the past few days, and something interesting is happening to them. They were coming down they were creating this flat, almost like a little wall, and it was a flat wall underneath the roof, underneath the ice, and it extended down, and then it narrowed, and then it became a long, skinny icicle. And now the top part of the wall has got a big hole in it. Interesting how the melting is happening. It's on account of having the sun out. Well, the sun will be melting it even while it's below freezing, right? Are we going to have another big storm? Is that what I heard? I lose track of which week it is and what the storm situation is. Well, I think I've done a good job on all these soaps. I don't think there's any more soaps to do. Well, there's 2 of them in the downstairs bathroom. I wonder if I should do them. I wonder if I should do there's one at the kitchen sink, or 2 at the kitchen sink. I don't think I've done them. Alright, so these can go in the living room. And I guess you could come along if you wish. Hi, kitty. Meow. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's what I say. Ow. Okay, so we'll put you here. And I'll go over there and I will. Hi. Hi. You are a tripping hazard. You know that, kitty? You're a true tripping hazard. All right, I'll just nip into the bathroom, rinse off my hands, and get some more soaps. This house makes me feel very tired, just looking at this huge mess. Oh, I did take those soaps away. Okay. So I must have already filtered them. So I have this little bowl full of soaps, which can be done. But I don't feel like doing that right now. Let's look over here at this birch bark stuff. Now this is finished. And this is finished. And this is finished. So let's take these away. I might need that one with the glue. Let's put these in the other room. Should probably start putting things away in here. It's gonna take a long time. Okay, so let's look at this. Let's look at this stuff in here. I put some of that juice to attract the fruit flies. These are dried bananas. They are to die for. Okay. Now, some of these are almost dry, but that one's not quite. Peach halves. These will be done first. If you rip them in half, if you see any moisture when you rip it, then it's not dried yet. Bananas are next to go in. Trying to make some order in my world. Just a little bit, of course, can't overdo it. My little display. These I want to paint and glue onto that other thing. Let's do that. So I want to glue them onto here. But as you can see, this one on here is painted yellow. See, these are just, those are tomato things. These are rose things. But if I painted them yellow, so we started putting hooks along there. This will have to go somewhere else, like up here perhaps. For dinner you have two choices, take it or leave it. Okay, what are we doing here now? Is this usable or is this burnable? This is burnable. I'll get it. Hello? 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 Yes?
My name is Sophia and I'm calling you from my computer. Am I speaking with the main user of this computer here?
What computer?
The computer registered under the name of Finances. Who uses this computer?
I don't understand why you're asking about my computer. You're on the telephone.
Ma'am, we are receiving some errors and warning messages from the computer here, which shows that unauthorized people got access to it. And also, we have sent you all the messages about it. Have you seen any messages from Microsoft before?
Well, I'm not going to respond if Microsoft is contacting me, because Microsoft has no need to contact me, and I doubt they would, so it must be a scam. What do you think?
Ma'am, we have sent you a lot of messages also. If you check your computer, you will find messages from Microsoft inside your computer already.
And is that in my email? Did you email it to me?
Ma'am, we have sent you all the messages direct to your computer administrative account.
I see. And who is calling me? Who are you?
My name is Sophia,
Hi, Sophia. And where are you calling from?
We are based at 81 Bay Street, Toronto, Ontario, Microsoft campus.
I see. Okay. And so what does Microsoft want to tell me? That I have a problem with my computer and that they would like to fix it for a small fee?
Ma'am, we are talking about the hackers here. We are receiving error and warning messages from the computer, and also we have sent you all the error and warning messages to your computer. So you can see the message and see everything what those hackers are doing inside your computer right now.
So is that a pop? Will those be pop-up messages I'll see?
Yeah.
Pop-up
All
messages.
the messages are stored on your administrative account, not on your pop-up. It's on your administrative account in your computer.
I see. Is that right? And so what are you going to do for me?
First of all, I want you to check the messages so you will understand what's going on and what those hackers are doing inside your computer. After that, I will help you to block all that hackers from your computer.
I think that actually you would be the hackers. And my computer is actually fine, and all this is just one of those scams to get me to let you into my computer.
You want to remove those hackers from your computer with Microsoft.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and cancel my licensed registration with Microsoft. Thank you. Bye. As if she could cancel my licensed registration with Microsoft. Oh my goodness. Well, she's going to cancel my licensed registration with Microsoft. Well, isn't that the cat's meow? Can you imagine if somebody was able to do that? They're going to have to shut down my computer because of the hackers and what they're doing in my computer. She didn't even know who. Oh, she did know my name. Yes. But you know, I think it's probably random. They go through the phone book. And her phone number, of course, was a local phone number. I mean, we're in a really, really rural area. And this, you know, the first 3 digits of our number after the area code, you know, there's not very many people with that. A couple hundred. She's calling from my number. She knows my name. And she can't tell me anything about me. She doesn't know anything except that my computer is giving me pop-up messages telling me about errors in my system. And she's now calling to get involved. And as revenge for not letting her help me, she's going to cancel my Microsoft agreement. That'll be the day. Da-da-da. You see, but you got to be smart. You got to be wise and smart when it comes to these guys, you know, because you don't know. What? There's error messages? I'm being hacked? Hacked. Oh no, panic. You can help me? Okay. How can you help me? How much do you want? Oh, just give us your bank account information. We'll just take what we need. Somebody got money stolen because of their in their laptop. They had been using, or their whatever tablet, they had been doing their online banking there, and they got hacked in their and somebody wiped out their thing. But you're not going to get pop-up messages telling you about that. Those pop-up messages on Microsoft are scams. And if you ever try and go with them, and they'll spend hours on your computer, then they'll get you to type in something that gives them access to your computer. And as soon as they've got access to your computer, they can take it over. But they can also check out if you've got passwords saved or anything, especially your email. Once your email password is compromised, they can get everything, because all you have to do, they can change your password for your email, then they can get all your email, and they can change everything, all the passwords, they can change them, because They just do forgot password, and as soon as it gets emailed, follow this link, they do, and they can lock you out of everything. And so you must not have your banking information automatically stored in your laptop. I would just say go to the bank. But it's funny, people all do it as if it's safe. You know, what's happened to the world? Nothing is really safe anymore. Of course, you got the people that kind of go overboard about that. But anyway, people our age don't necessarily know all these things. So there's a ski waiting to be skied upon. But you know what? The shoe fell off. So are your shoes supposed to be able to just come off of your skis? Is that a... So you have to be very careful that you keep your toe right on your ski all the time so that you don't end up with it coming off? I don't know. It seems like if you go too far forward with your foot, it'll snap out. Maybe I should take it and have it looked at. Anyway, how are you this morning? Is everybody well? So what exactly am I doing? What am I in the middle of? That was a telephone call. That's what we dealt with. Hi, everybody. Hi, Susan. I always enjoy hearing your morning prayers. Thank you, Lois Poe. I could hear you very well in your video earlier. Aha, Tyler. Tyler, it was your sound was not turned up. That's the thing. Hello. I can't always tell what the sounds are in the house. Could be the cat. So, one thing that needs to be done soon, because we have only a limited number of freezing days left, or freezing weeks, I need to have all of my fleece go outside and get frozen again, just in case any of these flying moths, which are everywhere, they've moved from the kitchen to my fleece, just in case they have laid eggs everywhere and are going to rot my blanket when they hatch and start eating it all. I need to get it outside. Now, I could try and get the loom outside. Now, that's one thing, but it's a big loom, and I think that's rather silly. So I have to remove the warp. But I don't want to remove the warp until after I have a new one. I could cut the warp and then tie everything in place so it can't come through the reed. And that was the first thing that I did wrong, was I pulled the reed. I pulled the beater bar and the reed, and all the threads came out of it. But if I tied them all on the inside of the reed, then it should be okay, and I should be able to tie the new warp to it and just pull it through. So the first thing I need to know is how many. So we've got 36 inches, and in an inch, I probably have maybe 4 threads to the inch. No, maybe 6. If I'm going to make another warp for wool. I really want to do tea towels. I think I might have to set up the other loom and do tea towels on it. And so I need to get out there and start warping that. So I have to get out there on the treehouse deck. Now, when it starts to thaw a little later on in the day, what time is it now? It's 5 after 9. So I didn't check the thing, but usually by noon it's the warmest it's going to be. So by then it might be melting a bit. Right now it's going to be hard rock ice everywhere because it's been melting. So if I could get out there, and I don't want to shovel that off because that's going to hurt me. I could move those bins out of the way, but if it's frozen, it's about hills to go over then. So glad I went for a walk this morning. I need to keep going for walks. I need to get out there and do stuff. I put those cleat things on the bottom of my boots. And they keep me from slipping on the ice. Very important. Very, 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 very important. I don't want to fall on the ice. I really am beginning to remind myself of my mother. She would take little steps and. Okay then. So we are going to felt this last couple of pieces of soap. It has to be thin. I don't have anything to wet that with. Willem? Good morning. You're up early. Do you have a plan? Are you up for a reason? You're usually not up so early. Oh, it's not that late. Oh, it's 9. Oh, okay. Why, it was 7 just a little while ago.
Yeah, no, I went back to sleep.
Hi.
Hi.
I went for a walk.
Oh, wonderful.
I did. Yeah, it wasn't, I stayed on the roads.
Okay.
So I didn't have to deal with deep snow and such.
Right.
And it was sunny. It was quite cold. I didn't light the fire. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, I can do that in a minute.
Thank you. Okay, there we go. Oh, and one more down here. This looks like it's been felted. Hello. Meow. I don't see any birds. But does that mean there are no birds? Okay, 3 to be done. That's all. We're done with that. Okay, I think I'm gonna go and do something else. So, I'm not sure what yet, but I'll see you soon. Oh wait. Hi Nancy. Hi everyone. Hi Nan, Tyler, and Lois. Didn't know wool could have. It's the moths, right? It's where you get mothballs. Who wants to make their house smell like? Oh, you love felting soap too, isn't it nice? Taught myself how to make ear warmers yesterday on my Addy machine. I made a bunch of them. I'll add them to my hat donation for next year. Hey, that's cool. Like earmuffs, don't you have to have something stiff to come across them? Or I guess if you just make a band, that's different. Okay, well, I think I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna do something. Okay, I'll be back on when I'm